From the shores of Malibu where the waves are pumping, to the Great Wall of China, and back to the streets of Las Vegas where the UFC is coming. We are live. It's Time Radio, the show where we talk about what you think about but may be afraid to voice. We will voice it for you, so don't worry. It's no holds barred radio, folks. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, UFC, entertainment, politics, TV, you name it. We talk about it. We're going to be sports related again today. We have a special guest on the show, a return guest on the show, a friend of the show. Along with my producer and co-host TJ DeSantis. Hi, TJ.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. You always get to our guests, but then like do this hard right turn, like, oh, by the way, TJ's here, and I'm like,
I want to make sure
Callum
people
Walsh
see you
is
there.
here.
You know,
Tom Laughler's here.
Like, I'm trying to give you equal billing. We'll get to Tom in a second.
It.
But coming on now is the undefeated boxer, the extraordinaire, the future of the sport, Callum Walsh. Callum, how you doing?
I'm very good. Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Oh, my pleasure. You know, it's very rare we have a guest on within a 2-month period or so, twice. So consider yourself very special.
It might be the first time, Buff, to be honest with you.
I think it's probably the first time. And also we're here with manager extraordinaire, definitely led the Klitschko brothers in their amazing careers all the way to championships, you name it. Tom Laughler. Tom, definitely one of boxing's more honest and pleasurable human beings.
Great to be on the show, Bruce, and also enjoy that puncher's chance.
Good. I'm glad. And Callum, did you get a chance to down a few shots before you had to start giving a few shots and not down any shots?
Yeah, I had a few alright when I was back home, but I've been off and on for the last few weeks, so I'm focused.
Very, very cool. No, stay focused, please. I don't want to think that my puncher's chance bourbon caused you to take a puncher's chance. Okay?
Right. Yeah. Buff doesn't want to give the opponent a puncher's chance.
I know. Boy, I shouldn't hit myself on the bone so hard.
Don't do that, Buff. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Head movement.
Self-inflicted. What can I tell you? All right. Well, listen, June 6th is your next fight here at the Commerce Casino.
June 9th.
June 9th, pardon me, at the Commerce Casino in Los Angeles, a casino I'm very familiar with because I played a lot of poker there. Made the final table of the World Poker Tour on TV at that casino. So I have a lot of fine memories from that casino and a lot of fine memories in that casino. It's a small venue, Callum. You know, you're going into Madison Square Garden later on this summer. Does the venue make a difference to you, my friend?
No, the venue doesn't matter. You know, I've been around a long time. I fought in a lot of different venues. You know, I've had a big amateur career where I fought in halls where there's only been 5 or 10 people, you know, and it doesn't matter, you know. At the end of the day, it's a fight, and I'm there to fight, and I have a job to do, and I'll just get the job done, and that's it.
That's the attitude. There you go. That's the Callum Walsh attitude. Loved it last time. Love it again this time. You're staying consistent, Callum. Like it very much. By the way, did you or did you not? Did you guys ever join Millions.co, that company? Tom, you got to talk to him. You got to get Callum his merch line.
All right. Yeah, we're going to work on that. But you know, this is actually Callum's fighting for a WBC regional title, the U.S. silver title. I'm down here in Mexico City. WBC just had their 60th anniversary. So June 9th, it'll be for his first title against a tough opponent.
So it's belt time, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's ready to go. Yep, he's ready to go.
Tom, real quick, you know, for a lot of MMA fans, they don't really know the boxing structure when it comes to sanctioning bodies for titles and things like that. What has to happen for someone like Callum to get a shot at a belt like this?
Well, the fight has to be worthy of being sanctioned for a fight. Callum is, as Bruce said, I really believe that he's the future of boxing. He's the fastest rising star that I've seen. You know, he's headlined UFC Fight Pass. In his last 5 fights. He's headlined the Aganis Arena in Boston for the St. Patrick's show, and he's really maturing as a professional fighter under the great tutelage of Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach. He'll be there June 9th also at the Commerce Casino. So to apply for a sanction with the WBC, it has to be a worthy fight, and Callum has proven himself. This will be a second 10-round fight and the first fight that he'll be fighting for a title.
You know what? Let me ask you a question. That's all I'm doing is asking questions. Tom, he gets a belt around his waist. Price goes up, right?
Absolutely. He paid bonuses for that, and his profile definitely gets raised. He gets raised in the rankings if you become a champion and you hold the belt. So everything starts coming together then. But then also the opponents. He's got a tough opponent coming for him now. Used to be trained by Abel Sanchez. There was we had them in for the media training at Freddie's gym on Saturday, and there was a lot of sparks flying. Callum, why don't you explain a little bit about that face-off that you had and what your thoughts are fighting a very experienced veteran like that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a good fight. He's older, he's experienced. I think he's looking at me like I'm just some kid. He thinks that's what he said to me. He was like, "Oh, you're a baby. I'm gonna show you who the daddy is." All this crazy stuff, and I was just like, "All right, we'll see." But that's the thing. He can talk in front of everybody, but like I said, we're gonna fight next week, and I'm gonna show him I'm not just some kid. I like he said, I'm the future of boxing, and I truly believe that.
So, let me go back to the monetary issue a second here. In the UFC, when somebody has a 3-fight deal, they're set with their prices on what they earn, based on a pay-per-view revenue situation. And I just want to say this without going into controversy. The UFC fighters make very good money. Millionaires are being made all the time. You know that, Tom.
Yeah.
The undercard fighters are getting more than undercards stepping into the squared ring, many, many times because of the guarantees involved. So if it's a TV deal, that's a TV deal where he's sharing revenue from, but the purses you can dictate per fight. You can negotiate that per fight, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. One other thing, Bruce, that goes up in value is the cost of his opponents. As the opponents get higher in profile, we have to pay more money for them. So it's all the way around. But the way we work the economics on our side is, we get the license fee from UFC Fight Pass. We sell tickets. Callum's become a big ticket seller in Los Angeles and Boston. He sold a lot of tickets. So his fame is definitely growing. And then the sponsorship deals that we put together. So, we put that all into a pot and comes the main event and needs to be paid accordingly. The great thing about UFC, just to touch on that, is that, as you mentioned, the undercard fighters get paid very well for what they do. And the main event fighters get paid than anywhere else, as far as MMA is concerned.
Right.
And so what I wanted to touch on is if you lose in the UFC, Dana can put you right back in a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, and there's no setback to your career. You might be in another tremendous fight. Look at, some of the fighters coming off a number of losses, and all of a sudden they're fighting another top 10 fighter. In boxing, I think it has the Mayweather effect, where it was so focused on being undefeated, nobody wants to take a chance anymore in boxing. Right. And Callum really wants to prove that he's the future of boxing. And Freddie hasn't turned down an opponent yet that we proposed. Callum hasn't turned down an opponent, and so we need to bring excitement in the boxing ring to translate into the viewers to capture some of the UFC fan base, focused on the UFC fan base. Well, Fight Pass, sorry.
That's what Callum's doing, except he's shortening the issue because he's knocking everybody out within 2 or 3 rounds. So it's like, I think Callum, you need to take him along a little more, maybe like Mayweather did with McGregor, hold until 8.5. Find out what your over-under is on your fight and just make your bet.
Did you just tell an Irishman that Mayweather carried McGregor? You can't do that, Buff.
All I know is the over-under in that fight was 8.5 rounds, if I'm not incorrect, and at about, a little over half a round in the 8th round, McGregor went down. It just seemed a little coincidental.
Allegedly.
It's all. I'm just joking around. It's all alleged.
Well, there's a famous adage in boxing: you don't get paid for overtime. The purse is set, and so Callum, right. He's a big puncher, southpaw, rare shades of Manny Pacquiao when Freddie was training Manny. So we're looking forward to a lot of exciting fights, a lot of knockouts coming from Callum.
Yeah, well, there's no question. I mean, Callum's future is golden, and I mean that in a lot of different ways. So, yeah, all good.
Hey, Callum, are you someone that sort of sits back and enjoys this ride? Like, do you have someone taking a lot of photos of you, documenting your fights? Like, are you able to grab things along the way in your journey for just future and memories?
Yeah, no, definitely. I enjoy every minute of it. This is everything I've ever wanted. I've wanted to do this since I was a child. I've been boxing since I was 6 years old. Like, I know nothing else, just how to fight, and how to win. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. Every fight, my family comes out, my friends come out, and we're all enjoying it together. And definitely, like, I'm only 22, so we still have a few years left of me, but I'll try and get try and get all wrapped up while I'm young now and be able to enjoy the rest of my life then after.
Might be 22, but you hit like a 45, Callum. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that are familiar with the size of pistol cartridges.
Thanks for explaining it, Bruce. I think we got it.
By the way, Tom, just to quote you on something, you know, how his ticket goes up also too as he gets more noticed and gets bigger and bigger, and you put on a show at the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a guest announcer come in and announce that main event, you know, that announcer's ticket goes up too. So you better be careful.
Look at Puffer, always angling.
Bruce, I heard you're going to be in town for that November UFC show, so it'll be great to have you there. Keep going Friday and the day before the UFC show.
Talk to the Godfather,
Yeah.
get the okay, and you know, if he says it's okay, then I'll be there.
I'll tell you, Dana's been 100% supportive of Callum. He already did a howler head deal for him every time he gets in the ring, and no, it's the support that not only Callum's gotten, but that we've gotten for Hollywood Fight Nights from Dana, you know, wanting to grow boxing on UFC Fight Pass has been tremendous. So we're really looking forward to that and looking forward to a great ride in the career. You know, the Irish fan base are really starting to turn out. And by the time we hit New York at the end of the year, I really think all those Irish bars in Manhattan are going to really be supporting Callum Walsh.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of Irish, you know, last time we were on the show, Callum, I forgot if we talked about it. Did Conor McGregor show you any love?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. I was at the John Jones fight. That was the first time I ever met him. I was just sitting in my seat, and he walked in, and he spotted me, and he was like, oh, like he saluted me straight away, and I was thinking, what the fuck? I was thinking Conor McGregor actually just realized who I was, and yeah, I went around the front and I talked to him for a minute, and he told me, he was like, oh, Callum, I love your boxing, I support you all the way, like up the Irish and all this stuff, and yeah, that was definitely, you know, crazy experience. The fact that Conor McGregor like already knew who I was before I even met him.
Have you guys seen the documentary on Netflix, the McGregor Forever, yet?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
it's amazing. Like, that's the thing about Conor McGregor. Like, say what you want about Conor. Some people love him, some people love to hate him. But if you get a glimpse of what he's really like on the inside, it's so much different from the character that he plays. And Bruce, we've talked about this a lot. The things that I've appreciated the most about Conor is the way he handles losses. I mean, not so much in the Poirier fight, the last one, but you know, when he got past all that, I still chalk a lot of that up to adrenaline. I mean, the man's leg was just snapped in half, but I don't know. I gained a ton of respect for Conor, you know, with this documentary and you know, who he is behind the scenes, if you will.
You know, I was watching Conor and Ultimate Fighter last night.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it. It's good. And the effect he has on young fighters, the positive attitude, his, you know, it can be very, very motivating. I mean, there's a lot of very positive aspects to Conor McGregor's personality. And I think in the Ultimate Fighter, you're going to see all those aspects come out. I didn't notice any shite talking, you know, a little bit in the beginning with Chandler, but that's just normal.
Yeah.
You know, knock you out. Chandler will knock you out in 2 rounds. Like, come on, that's normal give and take. But at least it's not, I'm going to, you know, eat your children and do other things to your family. So
I got a feeling Conor McGregor is going to be ringside for a Callum Walsh fight one of these days, real soon.
It could be
an MSG. Who knows?
Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to Conor because I was in Dublin just 2 weeks ago when Katie Taylor fought out there at the 3 Arena, and we made a point to go to his restaurant, the Black Forge Inn. And it was really, I gotta say, the food, the atmosphere, everything was really good out there. So not only does he have proper 12, he's got the Black Forge restaurant and his own Black Forge beer. So he's really making moves outside of that. And like you said, Bruce, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to see the Ultimate Fighter with Conor on it for sure.
It's really good. And by the way, with Callum being a sponsored by Powerhead, I don't think we can mention Puncher's Chance and Proper 12 in the same interview anymore.
We're good.
Just kidding.
Spread the love.
Hey,
sorry, Dana. Life's tough.
We just got to get Dana in a bidding war with McGregor, and then Callum will win.
There you go.
Okay, sorry. Buffer, you can be in the bidding war too.
Actually, this is Callum right here. Undisputed.
There you go.
That's your title,
Callum. Hey, speaking of the title, Callum, do you feel any you know, added weight or pressure being that this is for a belt?
No, I feel the exact same. You know, it's just a fight at the end of the day. I've been in so many of them. It's like I know how to fight. The only thing, like, I'll be a bit nervous, all right, like going into the fight, just about not about the fight, just about like what if something happened, you know, that I did lose, or that I let the people down that are counting on me. That's the only bit of nerves I get. But other than that, sure, fights are easy. You know, I've had 120 fights before I came here. I've had 6 professional fights now, and I know that once I land a few punches, you know what I mean, it could be game over. So hopefully, nice.
I
and
mean, it
quick.
happened last time. I mean, you got Wesley Tucker out of there relatively quick. Now, I'm not saying that you should carry an opponent by any means, but you know, in the last fight, Callum, I felt almost sort of underwhelmed that he wasn't able to stay in front of you longer. I wanted to see you do a little bit more work. Do you ever put somebody down and you're like, damn it, this fight's already over? I wanted to play a little bit more.
Nah, fuck that. I have stuff to do. You know what I mean? I need to get up out there. You know? Even after this fight, I have a flight home the next day, so get out of there and do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Good
really,
things to
TJ, you were there in Boston. He really showed his class difference between all those other fighters. We tried to put a lot of local Boston fighters on the show, definitely with the Irish flavor to it. And you saw the class of where Callum Walsh was at that time, only having 5 fights in his career, and taking out a veteran like Wesley Tucker. Carson Jones actually had already fought for a world title. He fought Kell Brook over in the UK. He's very well known over the UK, so we're looking forward to a lot of the UK, a lot of the Irish fans tuning into this fight on Fight Pass. Actually the start time starts at 7 p.m. on Fight Pass on the West Coast. So we're looking forward to some fireworks on Friday night on June 9th.
Nice. I'm going to be a little bit nervous because Dana's not going to be in the building. He's going to be up in Vancouver. I'll be on the call, so I guess Dana's going to have to listen to me and Doug Fisher.
There you go. Yes.
Doug Fisher, there's a name from the past. You know what Doug Fisher used to do for me? He was my Max Fighting writer.
Yeah,
I had one of the
great.
first MMA websites ever. That's where TJ, Tom Gerbasi, everybody came from. Sorry, you just brought up a memory in my head, TJ.
No.
Yeah.
He mentioned that, Bruce. Actually, Max Boxing, he mentioned that, and now he's the editor of Ring Magazine, and he's a staple on our broadcast on Fight Pass, along with TJ, and Abel Sanchez does all the LA fights. So Doug's a great guy.
Yeah, he's
sure.
a good guy. There's no question. He is a good guy for sure. All right, very cool. Very cool. Well, Callum, all I can tell you is, buddy, wishing you all the best. I mean, this is a big night for you coming up on June 9th. Bigger night coming up after that at MSG, but we don't want to look past June 9th. It's all about June 9th, and that's the night you got to prove yourself. Again, like I always say, whenever I walk in the octagon, I got to prove I deserve this job. And listen, what other thing can you say about a fighter? You're only as good as your last fight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So not worried about you, Colin.
Yeah,
You got it. You got it.
Thanks
No
very
problem. Be able to celebrate and keep dreaming about what you're going to do with all the money. Can I say it again? Money.
much.
I asked you before. I think one of the first things you said, you're going to buy your mom a house.
No. I say, you asked me what am I going to do when I get my first million. I said, you won't see me for a week.
Oh, that's right. We won't see you for a week. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, make that a very safe and healthy week. Okay. But a hell of a lot of fun. At the same time.
He might be on Connor's boat for a week after that.
There you
What's
go.
wrong with that? That would be a great way to celebrate, wouldn't it? Off the coast of Amalfi in Italy or something like that. I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate. That'd be amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Callum, I wish you all the best. I look forward to seeing you hopefully at MSG when I get a big paycheck for walking out to say your name. Just kidding there, Tom.
You're not kidding, Buffer.
Hey, I haven't stepped in the squared ring or the squared circle in a long time. It'll be my return.
Think about that. Ropes, Buffer. When's the last time you had to navigate ropes?
No problem. You know me, I'm flexible. I can get in and out.
All right.
It's all good. It is different than the octagon, though. There's 45 people in the ring where I'm just with the 2 commissioners, the referee, and the 2 fighters usually in the octagon, and a couple of camera guys. So it gives me a lot more room to do my thing.
You need more room.
Forget about me. It's not about me. It's about Callum. Callum, proud of you. Keep it going. Pride of Ireland. By the way, has anybody introduced you as the Pride of Ireland?
No, not yet.
All right. Well, maybe at MSG, if somebody steps up, then maybe somebody will announce you as the Pride of Ireland.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Callum, you take care. I wish you all the best. Knockout City, but give us an extra few minutes, will you?
I'll try my best.
No, just do what you got to do. It's all
You
good.
got things to do, Buffer.
I have things to do, man. You know what I mean? Busy man.
Okay. All right, Callum, you take care. Tom, as always, enjoy. Have a couple of tacos and margaritas on me down in Mexico City.
Absolutely.
Be careful and enjoy. Don't breathe the air too hard.
No. Always great to see you, Bruce. Great to see you, TJ. And we'll look forward to seeing you all on June 9th.
See you
got
guys.
All right, take care, boys.
Thank you.
I really enjoy watching Callum do work. He's kind of the boxer for the MMA fans, if you will. I came into MMA being sort of a combat sport novice. I really didn't care much for boxing, but as you watch more and more MMA, it's just natural that you're going to find appreciation for the other sports. I mean, I love Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I love Muay Thai kickboxing. And when I started to watch boxing, I mean, there were interesting fights, but I still didn't care too much about who the best boxer in the world is, just simply because the arguments and the politics that go on seem to prevent a lot of the bigger fights from happening. And now I think we're seeing a resurgence a bit with boxing and Tom Laughler's sort of vision of promoting boxing, similar to the way that Dana promotes the UFC. It's refreshing in a sense, and is really captivating me as a MMA fan to sort of go, okay, I need to sit back and watch people like Callum and sort of invest my attention into an up and coming boxer who's getting this notoriety. Because when you follow a fighter from prospect to champion, it's a bit of a rewarding experience. You see them unfold. And if you're a combat sports fan, it's literally like the best television series you can think of, watching someone go from a relative unknown to someone who's fighting with their name on the marquee.
I agree with you. Can't argue the point. We're watching an evolutionary process of a young star. You don't often see fighters with an it factor like a young star like this. And once he captures Ireland's heart, it's all over.
Yeah, and it's happening quick. It really
not all
is.
over. Excuse me. It's all beginning. It's not all over. It's all beginning.
Yeah. So, I know what you're saying, but trust me, Bruce. Callum really understands his role, and it freaks me out every time I hear him say 22 years old, because
I know it's amazing.
He commands the room, he commands the attention, and he doesn't act like a dummy with it either. We've talked about many people getting that shine and just completely screwing up.
He's got 15 prime years ahead of him. It's really incredible. So kudos to him, and kudos to Tom Laughler. And I say it again, as a manager who cares, who's honest, who takes care of his fighters. I watched him for many years with the Klitschko's and others.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. So
it's really hard in this business, Bruce. I think you know this more than anybody. It's really hard in this business to deal with a lot of people where over the years you don't sort of go, that guy, kind of sketchy. I've felt that way with a lot of promoters in MMA over the years. And, in boxing, I've heard of horror stories, but Tom's a guy that there's not too many people. I haven't ran into one person that's going to say something negative about Tom Laughler.
No, a good man. If you hear from me, he's a good man, because I'm very critical, and I'll tell you the way it is. So with that being said, fantastic fighter, fantastic manager, fantastic duo, dynamic duo, and onward and upward. And maybe I'll see you at Madison Square Garden. I'm just busting Tom's balls.
Oh,
we'll
of course.
See what's up.
You got to do it. But
he's going to have to pay.
Of course. There's no friendly discounts here. Maybe there's a friendly discount, but
if I got to give him my night of rest before a huge UFC show, he's going to have to pay. Okay. All kidding aside, forget about this. Not about me. Let's move on a little bit. Ford Bronco. I really like the Ford Bronco. I like the way it looks.
Wait,
the whole bit.
Is there a new Ford Bronco?
I like it.
Really? I haven't seen it.
It's really, really cool. It's a cool look. But now they're being recalled because people are discouraged trying to use the seatbelts.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
They're difficult to reach. It's a difficult to reach seatbelt. They're having a hard time reaching.
So they're recalling it?
And they're recalling it now.
That seems like a ridiculous recall.
I know, but it's obviously if people are not comfortable putting on a seatbelt, that means they may not wear the seatbelt, or they may wear it wrong. You got to recall the damn thing.
I can't imagine riding around in a car without a seatbelt on.
No, I remember in the old days with my mom and those big cars, or my dad, sitting in the back, bouncing around. Couldn't even fathom that today.
We had a pickup truck when I was growing up, and it had one of those bench seats, right? So the seatbelt, I was sitting in the middle, was always like behind the seat. I don't remember ever digging it up and actually getting a seatbelt on in that thing. But those were different times.
different times for sure. So listen, Al Pacino, 83 years old, going to be a
That's
father.
crazy.
Going to be a father.
Wait, what?
He's going to be a father.
All right.
He actually asked for a DNA test to make sure he's the father, but at 83, he's with his 29-year-old girlfriend. And,
Okay, just stop a second. Let's say he's not the father. Okay. The
well,
bottom
that's a
line.
whole nother problem.
Hang on. The bottom line is that there is a question that he might be the father. Good for Al Pacino, man.
No, she's pregnant.
I mean, wow.
Good for Al Pacino. His girlfriend's 29 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
Good. What is? I saw this one movie time. This guy was admiring the man's young girlfriend. He goes, "Good for you. Good for you." Not putting anything down, but it was kind of funny when I saw it. Anyway,
Wow.
Al Pacino, one of the greatest actors of our generation, past generation, future generation. It's amazing. Now you go to the other end. Danny Masterson from the 70s Show.
Yeah.
Been found guilty of the rape. 30
Oh
years.
God, no.
Faces 30 years in prison. This was a mistrial back in November. It was brought back for whatever the
I didn't know about this. I didn't know that he was even suspected of this. This is terrible.
Yeah, it's been going on. So now he's definitely convicted. Faces up to 30 years in prison.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, that's
Can't even comment.
yeah,
Can't comment
no,
anywhere beyond that.
it's unfortunate that that happened. That sucks.
It's always unfortunate, but you play, you pay, and if he did what he did, which obviously he did, then he needs to deal. I can't take any sympathy there.
No, I don't know anything about the story, so it's
all I can tell you is that's it. I can't even go into detail.
No, I get it.
So it's amazing being a multi billionaire. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez,
Mm-hmm.
they're renting a home in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think they're paying a month?
I need more details about the house.
$600,000 a month.
That's dumb.
$600,000 a month. I
That's
mean,
just
can't
dumb.
you even fathom? It's
dumb.
That is
for
crazy.
2 people.
Yep.
That's gross.
Well, when you got money, what can I say?
it's just kind of gross.
Yeah. You know, the house it used to belong to was Kenny G.
Really?
Mhm.
All right.
Interesting. Round Point Doom. Looking at poker, Tom Dwan, who we've had on the show in the past, one of the biggest cash players, he just won a record pot, 3.1 million in a cash game on TV down at Hustler Casino.
Wow.
And they asked him how he felt about it. And he said, well, I only won 1.5 million. What he means by that is he's backed. So the backer he's playing for got the other 1.5 million.
Well, hey, it's a team sport, I guess.
That's a team sport. Speaking of team sports, the NBA,
Yeah.
Denver and Miami, they go at it tonight for the first game of the NBA Finals.
Yep.
Miami's favored by 8 points. Is a dog by 8 points at Denver. I don't see how you can not bet on Miami plus 8 points in the first game of the NBA Finals.
Where's the game at? In Denver?
It's in Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time betting against the home team in basketball. There's a
lot of points.
Yeah.
And then the Golden Knights, they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, and none other than the legendary Michael Buffer, I'm giving the cat out of the bag, is being called to do the honors.
I mean, it's nice of you to let him have the job.
Well, it is. He's done the Golden Knights before. He deserves to do it again. And it's funny, after I agreed to have Michael announce the Golden Knights, somebody else from the Golden Knights emailed me 2 days ago and said, we'd like you to announce the Golden Knights at the opening of the Stanley Cup. And I said, sorry, that's Michael Buffer territory. So
right,
we'll be there on a Saturday. Everything will be great.
Oh, good for you. Good for Michael. That's good.
Great for Michael. It's great for Mike. He loves it. He loves it.
Is he a hockey fan?
Yeah. No, he's an overall sports fan.
Yeah, there's nothing better than playoff hockey. I really believe that. Like the atmosphere, and sort of just hanging on every moment in a tight game. Overtime playoff hockey, it's the craziest thing in the world.
Still the most exciting sport to watch in person besides fighting, to me.
Yeah, I mean, people are falling all over the place. They're hitting each other. It's fun.
It's nonstop excitement. Tickets go on sale to the general public Friday. For the BMF title between Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje.
Yep.
That'll sell out like there's no tomorrow. I'm absolutely positive about that. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
The BMF title. I can't say that on TV, but I can say BMF.
Yeah, BMF.
I could really draw that out if I wanted to say that, but I don't.
Oh, I know. And I mean, I think you should go for it, to be honest with you.
Maybe so. Anyway, let's thank our sponsors at medicaleverything.com. Great site, everybody. Check out medicaleverything.com for news and medical. Latest news is, let's see, unprocessed foods. It's always been a concern, but there's a big article here on what it's like to eat ultra unprocessed foods or ultra processed foods. And I don't think you're going to like what you read. So check out medicaleverything.com. They've got a lot of good stories. I could go into it here, but I'm noticing some very, very cool articles.
What's the old saying? You are what you eat. Isn't that
Absolutely.
it? Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? If you eat stuff that's sort of not real at all, your body's going to have a hard time with that.
Exactly. I got a list here of the 20 best nude beaches. TJ, I'm sure you're looking to find out where to go.
No.
But here in California, you can just run down to La Jolla. Black's Beach has always been popular.
Yeah, like you can't go to the nude beach clothed, and no one wants to see this buff. So
that's okay. I'm sure your wife does. So kudos to her.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said.
What's mean about that?
I don't know.
Wow, I got to dissect that one and figure that one out.
I took offense to that. I don't know why.
Okay, we got a show this weekend. I'll be announcing at the UFC Apex, Kai Kara France against Amir Albazi. Alex Caceres is back for the 85 millionth time against Daniel Pineda. Jim Miller and Jared Gordon. That's going to be interesting.
Oh man, that's a good fight.
Yep, very good fight. Tim Elliott, Victor Aldo Morano. That should be good. Tim Elliott always comes to bang. And a couple of Brazilians, Karina Silva, and Ketlin Sosa. Interesting. Yeah, no, you know what it is? We have a lot of fighters on this card, up and coming, been around, not huge names, not taking anything away from them. What does that mean, TJ?
Well, I mean, someone's going to make a name.
Yeah, making a name and just good fights all the way through. It's going to be exciting.
I mean, that's
I haven't been at the Apex in so long.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, like, mixed martial arts is that sport where on any given night you could have fight of the year. And I'm not even talking about just in the UFC. It's just when you have matched up men and women that are highly skilled and they go to war, fireworks and craziness is, always just one move away. So always worth checking out mixed martial arts and the UFC back at it again.
Yeah, no question. I want to thank everybody for all your cameo orders for the Mother's Day videos I did, along with all the championship intros, babies. TJ, I'm doing 5 or more weddings a week now. People are getting married.
That's great. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the time of year, right? Isn't June the month where everyone gets married?
I think so. It's really coming up, and then they're also in the fall. But and also your orders coming into brucebuffer.com for your videos with green screens and businesses. I've been so busy. Chris and I have been banging these things out and just enjoying them. And again, thank you for all your lovely thank you notes, listeners, regarding your weddings and everything else. It's just amazing to know that I can be part of your special day. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your allowing me to do that.
I'm curious though, Buff, how much is the appearance fee on a non-conflicting weekend for you to be in the building for someone's wedding?
TJ, I don't like to quote publicly my fees.
I like that. So they should inquire at brucebuffer.com.
Just inquire at brucebuffer.com. But I'm
saying busy. No less than 10 G's. No
That's
less.
Why... no comment. That's why we do mostly videos. I just can't travel around.
Of course not. That's why it's got to be more than 10 G's.
That's why we do a lot of videos. TK. If you have interest in it, you write into brucebuffer.com, whatever your business, your personal needs are, or whatever else. I do all videos. I will not do breakups for girlfriends.
Unless you get duped.
Divorces.
Unless you get duped.
Yeah. Somebody asked me recently, they said, why don't I do a video of my own eulogy?
Oh, weird. No, don't do that.
And it was for some weird site. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's weird.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's Time Cologne.
I'm not talking about it.
On Amazon still holding strong and top 5. And I got it, TJ. It's coming. Don't worry.
You've been saying that for like 6 months.
We got a lot. We got a lot going on, TJ. We got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
No excuse. That was all right, TJ. Go ahead. Let's sign off.
What do we got? Extra rounds coming up here on UFC Fight Pass. Gonna be joined by Ray Longo talking about variety of subjects. Kind of doing a summer preview, if you will. There's a lot going on starting pretty much in the month of June here. Yeah, that's it. So check out Extra Rounds. It's on UFC Fight Pass. Streams right here on YouTube and all that fun business. So UFCFightPass.com.
Okay, very cool. And let's see, I did an interesting podcast. Chris Cuomo had me on his podcast this week. That's going to be interesting.
What's he
big
up
U-
to these days? He's no longer on CNN, correct?
No, he's not on CNN. I think he's fighting for some kind of a payment package or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I know he's got his podcast and stuff, and he's just a real fanboy. Loves the UFC. We didn't get. I won't
didn't
talk
know that. That's cool.
Huge. I won't talk politics. But with him,
I mean, nobody wins. There's everyone else talking about politics. We'll leave it to them.
It was just a good, solid interview. Whether you like Chris Cuomo or not, it was a good, solid interview. So
Sure.
all good. All right, onward and upward. I'm off to Vegas for the Apex, and we'll be back next week with another exciting guest before the big show in Vancouver, which I will be in Vancouver also. And TJ, you have a great week. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. As always, we really appreciate it. We love all of our fans listening. Please make sure you subscribe on YouTube to our video. And thanks again to Fight Pass for showing It's Time Radio on Fight Pass. Big cheers, no fears forever. Buffer and TJ are out.